Hello everyone and welcome back to the course. In the last class we learned about variables and we discussed our first data type, which was int. So our first data type was int. Int is used for storing integers and it requires 4 bytes of space. So in this class we will learn various data types and we will learn which data type is used for storing which type of data and how much space we want for storing that data. Okay, so let's get started on that. File, new, empty file, save file. Okay, so let's name it something. Various data types. .cpp. Save. Hash include iostream using namespace std, and then I am having int main and then return 0. Okay, so in the last class we did something like this. Int I equals 10. So I is variable here and int is a data type. Okay, so I told you data type tells us two things: which data you are storing and how much space you need for storing that data. In case of int, I will store integers and I require 4 bytes of space. Okay, so how do I come to know that integers require 4 bytes of space? So basically there is a function size of. I will give integer as input and it will give me that int requires 4 bytes of space. Okay, so let's code it. Okay, so let's see. Int I equals 10. Okay, so first of all let us print the value of I. Cout value of variable I is I and then endl. And now let us print size of variable I. Cout size of data type int is size of I, end line. Okay, so what should be my output? So here the value of I is 10 and here my output should be 4. Okay, so build and done. So value of variable I is 10 and size of data type int is 4. Okay, perfect. So I can also write here like this: cout size of int. Instead of writing I can also write int. So build and done. Okay, so you can see output is same, 4 and 4. Let's comment it out, and here my answer is 10 and here my answer is 4. So in the last class we added 2 integers and I told you we want decent size integers. Our integers will not be too large and it will not be too small. So I told you we will use a data type called int, and int requires 4 bytes of memory. Okay, so what if I want to store small integers? So we have a data type called short int. short int, for example, let's say s equals 10. It will also store integers, but it requires 2 bytes of space. Okay, now what if I want to store large integers? So I have a data type called long int, let's say L equals 50. It will also store integers, but it will take 8 bytes of space, 8 bytes of memory. Okay, so let's write code. Okay, so first of all, let us talk about short int. Short int s equals 25. Cout value of variable s is, and then cout size of data type short int is cout size of s, and then end line. Okay, so what should be my output? So the value of s is 25 and the size of s is 2 bytes. Okay, so my output should be 25 and 2. So let's see. Build and run. So the value of variable s is 25 and the size of data type short is 2. Okay, so let's give space between is and 25. Space. Now it is looking good. Value of variable s is 25 and size of data type short is 2. Okay, so you can also write here like this: cout size of short int end line. Okay, so let's build and run. Okay, so you can see here 2 and 2. So basically you can write like this: size of s, and you can also write size of short int. They both are same. Okay, so here my output is 25 and here my output is 2 bytes. Okay, so now let us talk about long. Okay, so first of all, Control C, Control V. Okay, so long int L equals, let's say 30. Cout value of variable L is L and then end line. Similarly, let us print the size of long data type. So cout size of long data type is size of L and then end line. Okay, so what should be my output? So the value of L is 30 and size of L is 8 bytes. Okay, so let's compile and run. So the value of variable L is 30 and size of long data type is 8. Perfectly fine. And just like above, we can also write cout size of long int and then end line. So compile and run. You can see here 8 and 8. Okay, so it is your choice. You can write like this and you can also write like this. Okay, so here my output is 30 and in this line my output is 8 bytes. Okay, so let's revise again. So if I want to store small integers, I will use short int. Short int requires 2 bytes of space. Okay, so if I want to store decent size integers, I will write int. It requires 4 bytes of space. And if I want to store large numbers, then I will use long int, and it requires 8 bytes of space. Okay, so how big and how small integers I can store in short int? So basically we will see it in our upcoming videos. Similarly, how big and how small integers I can store in int, we will also see this in upcoming videos. And similarly, how big and how small integers we can store in long, we will also see it in upcoming videos. Okay, so basically just remember that here I am having 2 bytes of space, for int I am having 4 bytes of space, and for long I am having 8 bytes of space. And what minimum and what maximum value of integers I can store in these data types, we will see it in our upcoming videos. Okay, so we have covered 3 data types till now: int, short int, and long int. Okay, so let us see some other data types as well. Okay, so for example, can I write like this: int I equals 1.23. Can I write like this? No, obviously not, because int can only store integers. Int data type can only store integers, and 1.23 is not an integer. So we need another data type to store 1.23. Okay, so we have 2 data types that can store floating values. So this is known as floating values, and we have 2 data types that can store floating values. So I have first data type float f equals 1.23, and I have one more data type that can store floating values. So double d equals 1.23. Okay, so float is a data type, double is also a data type, both store floating values. So what is the difference? Difference is very simple. Float requires 4 bytes of space, and double need 8 bytes of space. Okay, so just like short int and long int, float has a smaller range and double has a larger range. Okay, so since float has 4 bytes of space, it will store decent size floating values, and double has 8 bytes of space, so it can store big floating values. Float can store small floating values, and double can store large floating values. Let's see an example. So first of all, let's comment it out, and similarly comment it. Okay, so let us first talk about float data type. So float f equals 1.23. Now first of all, let us print the value of f. Cout value of variable f is cout f, and then end line. Okay, so now let us print size of float data type. So cout size of float data type is, we will use size of function and will give f as input and then end line. Okay, so what should be my output? So here the value of f is 1.23, so 1.23 should be printed, and size of f is 4 bytes. Size of float data type is 4 bytes, so 4 should be printed. Okay, so let's see. Build and run. Okay, so first let us add this line between long and float. So Control C, and then I am having Control V. Okay, so now let us run again. Okay, so the value of variable f is 1.23 and size of float data type is 4. Perfectly fine. And just like above, you can also write like this: cout size of float, end line. So basically size of f and size of float both will be same, 4 and 4. Perfect. So let's comment it out, and here my output is 1.23 and here my output is 4 bytes. Okay, So now let us talk about double data type. Okay, so first of all, let's copy and paste, Control C and then Control V. Okay, so double D equals, let's say, 3.275. So first of all, let us print the value of D. Cout value of variable D is D and then end line. And now let us print size of double data type. So cout size of double data type is, I will use size of function and I will give D as input and then end line. Okay, so what should be my output? So our output will be very simple. Value of variable D is 3.275. So 3.275 should be printed. And similarly, size of double data type is 8 bytes. So 8 should be printed. Okay, so let's compile and run. So the value of variable D is 3.275 and size of double data type is 8. And just like above, you can also write like this: cout size of double end line. Okay, so instead of writing the name of the variable, you can directly write the name of the data type. So compile and run. 8 here and 8 here. Okay, so let's comment it out. So here my output is 3.275 and here my output is 8 bytes. Okay, so now we have covered 5 data types: int, short int, long int, float and double. Okay, so let us see some other data types as well. Okay, so can I write like this: int I equals character A? No. Can I write like this: float F equals character A? No. So we need a data type that can store characters, and the name of this data type is char. Char C equals A. So char is a data type that can store characters. Okay, so you can write char C equals A, C equals B, C equals character 1, C equals character 0, C equals character comma, C equals character space, and so on. Okay, similarly we can write like this: C equals character $, and so on. Okay, so what is the size of char? So the size of char is 1 byte. Okay, so Control C, Control V. Okay, so char C equals, let's say, A. Okay, and okay, so first of all let us print value of variable C. So cout value of variable C is cout C and then end line. Now let us print size of char data type. So cout size of char data type is, we will use size of function and will give C as input and then end line. Okay, so what should be our output? Okay, so the value of variable C is character A and size of C is 1 byte. Okay, so A and 1 should be printed. So let's see. Build and run. So the value of variable C is A and size of char data type is 1. And just like above, we can also write like this: cout size of char and then run it. So 1 and 1. let's comment it out, and here my output is A and here my output is 1 byte. Okay, so what can happen? Sometimes you just want to store whether something is true or false. Okay, so sometimes you want to store whether something is true or false. So in that case, what will I use? I will use a data type bool. Okay, so I will write like this: bool b equals true, or you can write like this: bool b equals false. So bool is a data type that has only two values. Either it will be true or either it will be false. Okay, so what is the size of bool? Size of bool is 1 byte only. Okay, so you can also say true means 1 and false means 0. Okay, so let's see. Control C and then Control V. Okay, so let's take a variable bool b equals true. Cout value of variable b is cout b and then end line. And similarly, size of bool data type is use size of function and give b as input and then end line. Okay, so what should be our output? Okay, so b equals true. True means 1. So 1 will be printed here. And similarly, size of b is 1 byte. So my output will be 1 and 1. So let's compile and run. So value of variable b is 1. 1 means true, 0 means false. And similarly, size of bool data type is 1. And just like above, you can write like this: cout size of bool. Okay, end line. 1 byte and 1 byte. Okay, so let's comment it out. Okay, so what will happen if I write false here? False. So nothing will change, only the value of b will change. 0 will be printed here. Compile and run. And you can see 0 is printed. Okay, so the value of variable b is false, that is 0. Okay, so what will happen if I write int j equals 10 and then I am printing j? So what will happen? So the value of variable j is 10 and I am printing value of variable j, so 10 should be printed as expected. So let's see. Okay, so 10 is printed perfectly fine. Now what will happen if I remove this 10? Now what will be printed? Now what should be our output? So let's see. So when I was writing int I equals 10, so what this line was doing, this line was giving me 4 bytes of space. I was naming this space as I and I was putting 10 inside it. But when I am writing int j, then what will happen? This line will give me 4 bytes of memory. I am naming this memory as j, but I am not putting inside it anything. Okay, so I am not putting any data inside it. So what will happen if I print value of j? So the answer is anything can be printed. I am not giving any value, so anything can be printed. Okay, so let's see. So this value is getting printed. Okay, so we call this value as garbage. So what is happening here? This line is giving me 4 bytes of memory as expected, and I am naming this memory as j. but I am not putting any data inside it. So what is happening? They will be a garbage value. Okay, so they will be a garbage value inside these 4 bytes, and when I am printing j, so this garbage value is getting printed. Okay, so let's see one more time. So this garbage value is getting printed. Okay, so let's see one more example. Float g, cout g, end line. Okay, so what should be our output? So our output will be a garbage value. So let's build and run. So this is our output, which is a garbage value. So this thing happened with every data type. So let's see one more example. Bool b2, cout b2, and then end line. Okay, so what will be our output? So the output will either be a 0 or it can be 1. So bool has only 2 values, 0 and 1. So anything can be printed. 0 can also be printed, 1 can also be printed. So let's run it. So 0 is getting printed. And let's take one more example. Char c2, cout c2, and then end line. Okay, so which character will be printed? So the answer is any character can be printed. Any garbage character will be printed. So let's compile. So B is getting printed. Okay. So I hope you got the logic, what is happening here. For example, in case of character, I am getting 1 bytes of space and I am naming this space as C2, but I am not putting data inside it. So there will be a default data and we call this data as garbage. Okay. So why we call this as garbage? Because it is of no use. It is of no use for us. Okay. So let's see. Now let us discuss the last topic for today's class, that is naming of variables. Naming of variables. So there are a few rules. Okay. So what characters you can use for naming a variable? You can use small ABCD, you can use capital ABCD, you can use numbers like I have used here B2, C2. Okay. Okay, so one thing to note here is your variable name cannot start with a number. So this is wrong and this is right. So your variable name cannot start with a number. And one more thing, your variable name cannot be like int first number. So this is wrong. You cannot give spaces between your variable name. You can write like this, int first underscore num. So this is right and this is wrong. Okay. Okay, so two things are very important here. First, your variable name cannot start with a number, and second, you cannot give space between your variable name. Okay. Okay, so that is all for this video. Thank you.